Hey y'all, and welcome to a long overdue episode of Doom School. I wanted to show you guys, it's the end of the growing season out here. There's been a lot of effort to overwinter a lot of stuff, basically putting a lot of food up and preserving it. There's a lot of that stuff that I want to show you guys. I think it's one of the more important survival techniques of learning to eat seasonally, organically grown food. I'm going to show you just a couple of things today that have basically given me some sort of mitigation against economic doom, and some of the things that make me feel okay about life in general right now, because just having a couple staples set aside, it is an amazing feeling to know that you have the capability to essentially survive. So the first thing I'm going to show you is my potato storage. This box is about 8 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet. And as you can see, I've got a bunch of hay down here. I'm sorry, no, this is straw. I chose straw because straw is coarser, and I was hoping that would allow air to move through it quicker and easier. So what I've got here is a layer of straw, and then a layer of potatoes. You can't really see them. There's a layer of potatoes in there. And then underneath these potatoes, another layer of straw, another layer of potatoes, another layer of straw. So there's several hundred pounds of potatoes in here that I'm hoping to be able to keep at least until June, which is kind of at which point we can start to get all of our complex starches and complex sugars back online again. So yeah, potato storage, very important. I think the most important thing is keeping them dry and keeping air moving around them. Another very important staple for long-term storage. Flint corn, great storage. You can store this for upwards of 10 years, I'm told. If it's treated on the right circumstance. And you can see I'm getting a little bit of mold. Look at that in between some of these guys. This is not a good sign. Some of them turned out beautiful though. Oh, and I want to just talk about yields real quick. That amount of corn right there that you're looking at right here is probably about 50 pounds worth of grain. So we grew about 100 pounds of grain this season, and that was over about 3,000 square feet. So dedicate 3,000 square feet, you get about 100 pounds of grain. And that's pretty good, because typically you only need, I mean, for me personally, if I'm eating this 3 times a day, that's probably closer to 3 or 4 ounces of corn, so 100 pounds, that should take you through quite a few days if you needed them. Okay, so I had heard that one of the things that you could do to get the kernels off of your dried corn cob was rub 2 pieces of corn together like this. And I'm not sure how that's supposed to pull it off. I mean, I kind of sort of had success if I kind of started it first and started kind of like, getting these kernels off. If I got it started and then started popping them, you can get it off like that. But as you can see, I did about 2 ears of corn like this, and my thumb was raw. So I got online and I went to go see if on YouTube to see if anybody else had figured out a better way of doing this. And indeed they had. Some brilliant dude. He had a drill gun and he had a hole saw. I'm just going to tell you what I did to kind of model his model. So it goes coupler to get to that 1.5 inches, and then I've got basically 3 drywall screws put in there, about 1/4 inch in. I mean, you saw how long it took me to get just those few kernels off there for a second. So this basically, you take your corn, and there you go, and pulls all the kernels off, and there's your kernels that I'll be doing over and over and over again today. Also right here I've got just a few of our winter squash. Not a great way of storing winter squash. The most important thing being that they're not touching, and you want to regularly rotate the squash as well, so that it's never kind of sitting on the same spot for too long. And you can actually, these kabocha right here, these are kabocha or a buttercup. There's a bunch of different names. They're great storage squash. They can take you through, probably at least 4 months. If you treat it right, you can probably get 4 months of storage out of this squash. I've got a lot of delicata as well that won't store as well, so we're eating those first and kind of hanging on to these guys for later on down the road. So anyways, I really just wanted to point out how important just a couple of these staple crops can be. I've learned quite a bit through a protege of Carol Deppy, who has a book called The Resilient Gardener. It's a very good book about essentially kind of these staple crops and storing these staple crops and whatnot, so check out that book. The only other thing that I would say would be that's sort of missing from our arsenal this year is beans and dried beans. So if we had our dried beans, our dried corn, our squash, our potatoes, we needed to get through till 6 months when we get our sunshine and warmth back. We're doing okay. So hopefully this gives you something to think about and chew over, and maybe we can figure out a way to keep ourselves alive in the worst of times, and teach other people the same. But thank you for watching, and I hope it's somewhat useful to you. Please check out the website, DoomSchool.org. There's a bunch of other articles that I'll be writing on there. I've been slacking as of late, but now that the season is slowing down, I can start to get back up on the blogosphere and be doing more articles and stuff like that. But again, thanks for watching, DoomSchool.org. Peace.